Beth Harper has achieved a great deal in the name of theater, including a Lifetime Achievement Honor at the Grammy Awards in 2016. She's an actress, producer, director, and teacher. Welcome, Beth.
How great was that? I mean, right? And now I have to talk. Well, here we are. Here we are in that moment before. That moment before and that space between us. That space between us where something beautiful or inspiring or amazing or scary or, and I hope not, boring may happen between us. And it is at this moment, as an artist, I take a breath. Take one with me. And I surrender to the possibilities. I am not here to convince you to do or be anything. Look at you. I already see in your beautiful faces the brilliance of Shakespeare, the imagination of J.K. Rowling, the beautiful mind of Steve Hawkins, and the soul of Aretha Franklin. Yes, that's right. I believe that you are already experiencing and exploring your creative heart. Do you embrace your imagination? That is your creative heart. Are you curious what the people in the booth behind you in the restaurant are saying? I know you are. That is your creative heart. Are you willing to risk failure, creative heart? Do you feel that when you push up against your failures, that is where you find your voice, creative heart? Are you willing to look stupid? Yes, creative heart. And are you willing to risk failure? And do you believe that pushing up against your failures is where you find your creative heart and your voice? You already are a creative. And are you curious about the world outside of yourself, creative heart? And have you ever felt or longed to feel joy rising within you? That, my friend, is your creative voice having a conversation with you. So, I'm not going to tell you how to do your creative path. You will find your way. Every journey is different. I think I will call this conversation with you everything that I needed to learn about how to be a decent human being, I learned in acting school. I know, that's hard to believe, because what I was not expecting and inadvertently learned in my acting classes, of all places, was how to be a better citizen in and of this world. Okay, I remember the first acting class I ever took. I was 27 years old, and I'd gone back to graduate school, and I was sitting in my class, and the teacher was talking. I was like, oh, please, just let me act. But he was talking, and he was talking about three things. He was talking about objective. In every moment, you must have one. An objective is that thing you want, that thing your character desires. 2, obstacles, the things they have to do to overcome, the things that are in the way of getting what they want. And 3, action, which is the thing they do to overcome to get back to their objective. And I thought, oh, aren't those some nice thoughts? But really, let me act. let me act. And anyway, so I got finally, I got in front of him, and I was with my partner, and boy, did I. I acted, I sweated, I cried, I wailed up a storm. I was in it. I was so awesome, said I. I'm sure I looked just like that. And anyway, so the scene was all over, and I was ready to receive my praises of my awesome acting. And so there was a long pause. I'm sure it was only like 5 seconds long, but it felt like an hour. And he said, that's interesting. Do you know what you were doing? You were playing your character's obstacles, not their actions. Acting is what you do about what is in your way. That is who your character is. And at that moment, as a human, and as Oprah says, I had one of the biggest aha moments of my life. And I realized in that moment, I, Beth Harper, was living her life in her obstacles. I could yammer on and on about the things that are in my way, the things that were stopping me, the things that caused me pain. And yes, all those things were probably true, but they're not in action. And it's at that moment I realized I want to live in my life and not define myself by my obstacles, but by what I do about my obstacles. And it was in that moment, in that acting class, I chose to live consciously and in this world. Lesson 2. Oh, it's on this page. Dreams are only as valuable as the work you do to make them true. Dreams and imagining are an artist's most valuable tools. Yes, do it all the time. Dream big, dream large. Fill up the space, see it in your mind's eye. Imagine away. And then realize that to make a dream come true, you have to build that dream one step at a time. Because creativity and work are partners. And in my mind's eye, they are the same beautiful thing. Or, as my acting teacher used to say, if you're going to cry in a scene, earn it. And if you had told me at 27, when I went back to graduate school, that upon graduation, when I started an acting school, small acting studio in an abandoned dentist's office, that one day that school would grow up to be a nationally accredited and renowned conservatory for actors, I would have told you you were crazy. Because that was not my intent. My intent was just to do a good job with what I had in front of me. But I am here to bear witness that my business sense came from my artist sense. The knowledge of how to arc a character, how to tell a story one step at a time and in the moment were the tools that I needed. And as we always say in improv class, yes and. And one day, you'll have to be okay with what you don't know. I am. You have to ask questions. Or as we say in acting school, don't play the end until you play the beginning. And before you know it, you have built something. And lesson 3, and it's a big one. Love is the most active verb of all. In acting classes and in rehearsal, we are always yammering us artists about like, oh, what does my character want? What is their action? What is the action they're playing? What am I trying to do? How am I trying to affect my fellow partner? How do I create reciprocity? How do I tell the playwright's intent? And what you realize over and over and over again that they are always in the same pursuit as all of us are. Everybody ultimately is in the pursuit of love. But the biggest human lesson I learned in all of this about the verb love, love is not leisure. It is work. It is the kind of work that will bring you joy, and it will break your heart. And the way I define character to my students is character is the sum total of actions you take in the pursuit of love. And this is true for us too. And it is where the hard work lives in all of us. For how we love is who we are. And in conclusion, let me say this. When all else fails, default to kindness. Kindness is an active verb, and I believe in this world is a lost creative art. The other choice is too easy. To be mean and hit send, too easy. Kindness is work. Get up and do it every day. Exercise your kindness. And if you do, I guarantee you, it will fill you with joy, and you will feel it rising every day. Because that's what happened to me on my way to becoming an artist. Very much.